Times Lifestyle Quiz Night. It's a great delight to be here, especially after we listened to Cyril last night, and I think we all have a vague sense of hope about next week, in the sense that we may actually be able to go for a jog with our dogs who are ready to murder us. We have people who have signed in, which is terribly exciting. The teams are happening. The moonshiners who've been obviously making gin in their bathtubs. The three brookies. I wonder what that signifies. Are you in your brookies? Pajamas in pajamas. Bananas in pajamas. The Jacobs family. Pinky and the Brain. Danny and the Daltons. I actually had a whole list of people who have checked in and given us the names. But first, let me give you the rules. Obviously, you've logged in, so because you're here. This is our second quiz night, but still, please cut us some slack because we may still have a few technical issues. But I think we're doing quite well. I hope you've come up with a team name and you're sharing it on the comments section, which is live on the web page. Don't spoil the fun by Googling the answers. Please keep the comments tidy. And basically, I think, and also it goes without saying that we won't have any derogatory remarks on this beautiful platform. We want you, I'm Aspasia Karras, by the way. I am from the Sunday Times. We don't want you to submit the answers. So there are 8 sections. There are out of 45 points at the end. So the way it's going to work is please comment. We want people to submit the answer, their numbers, out of 5 for each section. So each editor is going to ask you some questions. We've changed them up this week. We listened to what you guys said. And at the end of each section, you'll submit your answers. We'll also innovate tonight and put the questions on the live chat so that you can see what's actually happening, because we feel some people missed out on the questions last time. So the questions will be on the live chat, but don't put the answers there. Just put your total for each team. And then at the end, put your complete total. This is just fun. So we're not, obviously, have no way of checking what you're doing. So we hope you have a lot of fun. I think people are feeling competitive. Let me see what else there is. Okay, that's it. Submit your total score at the end. We do have a prize, guys, which is terribly delightful, and I'm scrolling up. It is Tin Swallow at Boulders, 2 nights, so that you can go and see the beautiful penguins. Apparently you need some special soap to swim at Boulders. That was straight from the lady who had that little cottage at Boulders. Told me, but I'm sure Tin Swallow at Boulders has that. It is worth, I just want to read this to you guys. Tin Swallow at Boulders Boutique Villa is surrounded by fynbos with unobstructed views across the world-famous beach and the penguin colony and the ocean. The villa features a heated sea view pool, while spacious living areas lead to magnificent terraces and a wind-protected courtyard with a fire pit. So 2 nights are up for grabs. The administrators of the quiz will choose somebody randomly during the course of the night. I don't know how they do it, but it's fair, I assure you, and none of the Sunday Times people will win, although we've insisted that maybe they take us along with our suitcases. So the value of that prize is 11,200 Rand. And now, with no further ado, I want to introduce the delightful Jennifer Platt, books editor. I think we were celebrating some kind of books thing this week, which is why she's going first, and she'll tell us all about it. So Jen, over to you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lifestyle Quiz Round 2. And as Aspasia said, it was World Book Day yesterday, so we are really grateful to be number one on the list here. And um, we're
Can you
very
just tell
happy
me what
to
World
be.
Book Day is, Jen?
World Book Day is basically when we celebrate every single person on this planet's love for books. So you can dress up as your character that you love, who you want to be, who you aspire to be, the authors that you love. And it's just basically just this book um, fest love that we celebrate. So it's great to see that it's across the world. Every single country celebrates it. So we're really, really happy about that, and it really brings books to the forefront of what you know what people celebrate and what children think of books. Kids used to go like last year dressed as characters, but this year they dress in their houses for what their favorite characters in books are. And I think that's the wonderful thing about this day. It's just celebrating it. It's just like, thinking about books and what your favorite books are, who you want to be, and who you think is the best character around. And
Cool.
so, yeah, that's what Book Day is about. And yeah, World Book Day. It's an awesome day. I didn't dress up as anybody though.
I've
um,
dressed up tonight, but that's for the fashion section.
so we'll start off with our questions. I hope everybody's prepared. I don't think it's as difficult as last week, but we shall see. It's um, it's about modern books and it's about old books as well. So here we go. Question number one from the literature section is: what is the name of Delia Owens' best-selling debut novel, which was endorsed by famous Hollywood actress Reese Witherspoon's book club, Hello Sunshine? So Reese Witherspoon actually endorsed this book, and it's probably going to be made into a movie. And the author's name is Delia Owens, and she had a best-selling debut novel last year. So I'll read the question again. What is the name of Delia Owens' best-selling debut novel, which was endorsed by famous Hollywood actress Reese Witherspoon's book club, Hello Sunshine? And we'll go on to question two. Question two of the literature section. The Mirror and the Light was the last book of the Wolf Hall trilogy written by Hilary Mantel. And what is the name of the famous character from history that the books are centered around? And he was in King Henry VIII's court. He was a very famous courtesan at that time. And I'll read the question again. The Mirror and the Light was the last book of the Wolf Hall trilogy written by Hilary Mantel. What is the name of the famous character from history that the books are centered around? He was in King Henry VIII's court. Section 3 from the literature quiz. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us and we had nothing before us. We are all going direct to heaven. We are all going the other way. This is the first line in The Tale of Two Cities. Name the author. I'll read the question again. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. This is the first line in A Tale of Two Cities. Name the author. For question 4, in the literature section. Which Nigerian author wrote the 2003 work titled Americana? I'll ask the question again. Which Nigerian author wrote the 2013 work titled Americana? Question 5. The inaugural Falkiner Literary Award was established on the 5th anniversary of Andre Brink's death to pay tribute to his life and his work. This year, the first one was awarded to Mkele Mashigo. What was the second book called, which was a collection of short stories? I'll ask question 5 in the literature section again. The inaugural Falkiner Literary Award was established on the 5th anniversary of Andre Brink's death to pay tribute to his life and work. This year, the first one is awarded to Mkele Mashigo. What was the second book called, which was a collection of short stories? I hope you all got those questions and got the answers right. And now I'm supposed to give like a fun fact about myself, which I'll do so. I was thinking the whole day about what a fun fact would be, and I was like, oh, maybe it's my cooking, maybe it's my earring collection. But I think actually it's the fact that I love Gossip Girl. And I'm watching it for like probably the 6th time, much to the consternation of all the males in my family. And they all basically leave the lounge when I put Gossip Girl on. And it's on Netflix now, so there's no reason for me not to watch the whole season from the first episode to the second, to the last season.
We've got time, Jen.
Yeah.
Time is on our side. You can watch the
Time
whole
is on our
day.
side now to watch Gossip Girl and to see Blair and everybody's Blair and Selena and Serena, and Dan, and Jack, and
So,
New York.
if I can just intervene, just to remind the readers and the quizzes, or whatever we call these people who are engaging in our quiz, to please not put the answers on the chat. The answers are for your team. The only thing we put on the chat is we are going to give you the questions, and you guys must please tell us how many you got out of 5. And so I think just now that we've clarified that, there was a very funny team name, which you will appreciate, the Coronicles of Narnia.
That is amazing.
And the Ginger Ninjas are here, the Jacobs family, the Mapani Worms, Excel high up. I think they've got high hopes for tonight. So, shall we give them the answers?
All right, let's get to the answers. The first question was, what is the name of Delia Owens' best-selling debut novel, which was endorsed by famous Hollywood actress Reese Witherspoon's book club, Hello Sunshine? And the answer is Where the Crawdads Sing. I'll say that again. The answer to number 1's question was Where the Crawdads Sing. And The Mirror and the Light was the last book of the Wolf Hall trilogy written by Hilary Mantel. And I asked you for the name of the famous character from history that the book centered around. And that answer is Thomas Cromwell. And I asked you for the author of The Tale of Two Cities. And the answer of that question was Charles Dickens. And which Nigerian author wrote the 2013 book titled Americana? This is question 4. And the answer was Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And the other question, question 5, was Mkele Mashigo's second book, which was a collection of short stories. That was called Intruders. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all coming here. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the quiz. Yay, back to Aspasia.
I'm laughing, Jen, because Fantastic said he bets Trump got 6 out of 5. It was right after he basically injected himself with I don't know, hydrochloric acid or whatever it was.
Whatever he does, yes.
We have the lunatic fringe with us. The retirees got 1. The charms got 2. We have Helen Ashley says they're great fans, but they're doing poorly on the books front. Guys, better luck next section. So now I'm introducing you to the delightful Andrea Nagel, who is the editor of The Lifestyle, and she is here to test our knowledge on popular culture. We're terribly excited, Andrea, to have you here tonight. Thank you, and over to you, dear heart.
Hi, Aspasia. Thank you for the introduction. It's nice to be part of the team and fill the gap, the pop culture gap.
Exactly. Like what we were saying last time.
Exactly. So I'm just going to get straight into it and start with the first question, which is, which South African-born actress donated 19 million rand, a paltry $1 million, if you're going to convert, to help domestic violence victims during the corona pandemic? That's which South African-born actress donated 19 million rand to help domestic violence victims during the coronavirus pandemic? Okay, question number 2. Who is the hunky star of Netflix's new action movie, which launches today? And he also happens to be the cover star of our lifestyle section this week. And that's who's the hunky star? Who is the hunky star of Netflix's new action movie, which launches today? Okay. And question number 3. Which famous local song was re-released by UNICEF this week with slightly altered lyrics to help spread information and hope during the pandemic? It's a very, very famous song by a very famous female singer, one of our most famous of all time. And that's which famous local song was re-released by UNICEF this week with slightly altered lyrics to help spread information and hope during the pandemic. And if you think about the translation of the name of the song, it might help. They changed those words around a bit because it means something, which they're encouraging people not to do at the moment. And question number 4. A famous young royal celebrated his birthday yesterday. Which English royal would that be? That's a famous young royal celebrated his birthday yesterday. And which young English royal would that be? Question number 5. Which international singing star who died tragically in 2012 is the subject of a new film? And that film is called, this should maybe give it away, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Especially if I say it like that. Which
that's
international
evening, that's on House Party.
Yeah. Which international singing star who died tragically in 2012 is the subject of a new film, which will come out soon, called I Want to Dance with Somebody? Okay, those are my 5 questions. Now, the fun fact, I also gave it a hell of a lot of thought today, what I could share. Not too much of a secret, something that could go online to all you people watching on Facebook and YouTube. And my fun fact, which I dredged up from my 20s, is that I can tie a cherry stalk into the shape of a pretzel using just my tongue. And I promise to whip it back out at the very party we're allowed to go to.
And may I just say I've witnessed this.
A few times.
And it's true. So I just want to report back that we had some really excellent results last round. Charlie Brand, Jennifer Platt, you'll be pleased to know, got 5 out of 5. The Greybeards, I fear, let the team down slightly. They only got 1 out of 5. but I think the box of frogs also, just the 1 point. And the Fab Five got 2 out of 5. Right, so I think we're ready to maybe...
Shall I give my answers?
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer to 1, which South African-born actress donated 19 million for domestic violence, is Charlize Theron. How many do we have?
A few now, actually. We have quite a few.
The answer to number 2, our cover star, the hunky star of Netflix's new action movie, which launched today, is Chris Hemsworth. And number 3, yeah, you must buy the Lifestyle this week, well, the Sunday Times this weekend, and look at our gorgeous Chris Hemsworth.
Gracing the cover.
Number 3, which famous local song was re-released by UNICEF this week with altered lyrics? And the answer to that is Pata Pata, which means touch, touch. We're not supposed to be doing that. Question number 4, the famous young royal is not Prince Harry, but Prince Louis, who celebrated his birthday yesterday, the youngest royal. And which international singing star who died tragically in 2012, and they're making a movie about her life, I Want to Dance with Somebody, that's Whitney Houston.
And so, fantastic, thank you.
Everyone this week.
Exactly, and we'll do this again. We have no doubt. I feel that we might not be quite as free and easy as we think. Level 4 is not... There is a very funny thing going around Instagram today, which I don't think is appropriate for family conversations about the levels and just precisely how liberated we'll be as a result. Just to report back that Sarah B from Most Wanted, and I do believe that is the editor of Wanted, which is another of our fabulous publications, got 4 out of 5 for literature. Sarah, I'm very, very surprised at you. David Steinberg got 5 for us. That's how sure they are. And Team Lulama also 5 out of 5. Brilliant, guys, brilliant. Right. Kelly Fisher was feeling very strong on pop culture. We are now rapidly moving on to Thomas Falkiner and his terribly impressive stash. Thomas, where is your helmet? I think last week you took it off just before we got the camera onto you, but here we are. He was doing his best Stig impersonation, but here he is with the moustache in full flight.
I am indeed. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Folks, I am Thomas Falkiner from the Lifestyle section, and I'm here to put the mo into motoring. So without further ado, let's get stuck in here with some pretty easy, well, maybe not easy, time will tell, motoring questions. So question number 1 is, as of April 2020, what is the world's best-selling sports car? I'll repeat that question. As of April 2020, what is the world's best-selling sports car? Moving along to question number 2. Which BMW model made an appearance in the 1995 James Bond film GoldenEye? Folks, I'll repeat that again. Which BMW model made an appearance in the 1995 James Bond film GoldenEye? Gliding on over to question number 3 for this motoring Q&A section. What was the first production car to use a turbocharger? I'll repeat that one. What was the first production car to use a turbocharger? Going on to question number 4 tonight. What German sports car earned the nickname the Widowmaker? I'll repeat that one. What German sports car earned the nickname the Widowmaker? And moving on to question number 5. Which model of Lamborghini featured in the Jamiroquai music video Cosmic Girl? I'll repeat that one. Which model of Lamborghini featured in the Jamiroquai music video Cosmic Girl? Right, while you tally those up, I've got to mention an interesting fact.
Fun fact.
One fact, well, yeah. I have many interesting facts, but one is I've got a double jointed thumb, which I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh my God.
Nice little party trick, you know, it's quite fun. After a couple of drinks, you can just pull that one out, and people are pretty impressed. So there you go, something you didn't know about me.
Indeed. Can I just report back on how people were doing in the last round? The Jacobs family were on top of it. They got 5 out of 5, and woohoo, got 5 out of 5. I think that's Leon Forster. However, got 1. Intelligent inmates, 3 out of 5. Ready Funky Monkey, 4. The House of York. B. Roberts got 5 out of 5. Hello, B. And we are the unknowns, 3 out of 5. 2 of the facts were unknowable to them. And the Lunatic Fringe, 4 out of 5. The Stransky clan got 5 out of 5. I wonder if that's the actual Stransky clan. Maybe not. Chaps, let's get to the answer.
Alrighty.
Well, several answers, actually, all of them, not just the one.
All right, so these are the answers for the motoring questions. Question number 1, I asked, as of April 2020, what is the world's best-selling sports car? And the answer is the Ford Mustang. Big up to the American icon.
You probably have one in your driveway, don't you? Although you're a Porsche man yourself. But with this moustache, you look like you should have a...
Well, I do race a Mustang, so kind of, but it's not in my driveway, unfortunately. Moving on to question 2, I asked which BMW model made an appearance in the 1995 James Bond film GoldenEye, and that answer is the BMW Z3, which was a big deal back then, in 1995. As a kid, I was smitten. Question number 3. What was the first production car to use a turbocharger? It was not the Subaru Impreza. Neither was it the Golf GTI. It was, in fact, the Oldsmobile Turbo Jetfire, which came out in 1962. Bet you guys didn't know that. Right, question number 4. I asked you guys, what German sports car earned the nickname the Widowmaker? And that would be the original Porsche 911 Turbo. Killed more businessmen than cocaine and hitmen.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew that. That's ridiculous.
Well, now you do. Right, and the final question.
Their middle age, Thomas, when they had that sudden onset middle life crisis.
Middle life crisis, it can happen.
Did it give them heart attacks, or did they just crash?
They would just crash them because they were quite fearsome cars to drive, and if you didn't know what you were doing, you'd probably end up backwards into a wall or a lamppost or something. So,
oh my God, okay.
They were fearsome. So, well, ladies, if your husband ever comes home with a Porsche 911 Turbo from the 80s, just tell him to be careful. Right. And my final question for motoring was, which model of Lamborghini featured in the Jamiroquai music video Cosmic Girl? And the answer is the Lamborghini Diablo. And that is it from motoring for this evening. Aspasia, right back at you.
Thomas, thank you for that fascinating motoring, moment, a moment of motoring excellence. And our next section is Hilary Biller, food. But before we go there, I'm just reporting back. The peri peri chicken pizzas got 2 out of 5. B positive, 5 out of 5. So those are the moonshiners, 2 out of 5. Come on, guys, pick up your game. And the Chronicles of Narnia are not big on popular culture because they only got 1 out of 5. But things will look up, I'm sure. We are now moving on rapidly. The uplifted cortexes, sorry, that is very funny. Team name got 4 out of 5. Right, and now, Hills Bills, she's going to grill you on food facts.
Thank you, Aspasia. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to have you all with us. And I'm sure I can be guaranteed of one thing, that you've all been cooking yourselves silly. I'm just tired of washing all those dishes, actually, and having probably this evening the last glass of wine. And I don't think we're going to be
down to the last glass.
Yes, and I don't think we're going to be let off this one by next Friday.
Have you made the pineapple beer?
I have bottled 5 liters today. And if you top it up with some tonic, add some slices of lemon, you can sort of dream that it's a lovely G&T. Dream hard, that is. Anyway, it's wonderful to have you all here again. I've made the questions much easier this week. There were lots of comments that were far too difficult. And I'm going to start with number 1. What is the name of a dish enjoyed in northern Italy, which is a South African staple known by another name? I'll repeat the question. What is the name of a dish enjoyed in northern Italy, which is a South African staple known by another name? Now that's easy peasy, come on. Okay, then number 2, which South African cookbook broke the record of the largest number of sales in the shortest space of time? It was a local cookbook. And who was the person to spearhead the collaboration of this bestseller? Okay, there are a lot of elements to this. I'll repeat it again slowly. Which South African cookbook broke the record of the largest sales of a local cookbook in the shortest space of time? And who was the person, who was a fairly unlikely person, to spearhead the collaboration of this best-selling cookbook? Okay, that's number 2. And then move on to number 3. Bechamel sauce takes its name from the base of an everyday sauce we use commonly in our kitchens. What is the name of that sauce? Okay, I'll repeat it. Bechamel sauce takes its base from an everyday sauce that we use commonly in our kitchens. And what is the name of that sauce? All right. Number 4, we've moved further afield. Who is rated as one of the UK's most popular chefs as gauged by the sales of their cookbooks? I'm very into cookbooks at the moment, as you can see. I'll repeat it. Who is rated as one of the UK's most popular chefs as gauged by the sales of their cookbooks? And there are a number of contenders, so think hard about that one. Okay, and the last one, it's a really simple one and something I long for. What is the grape variety that is unique to South Africa? I'll repeat that. That's an easy answer. What grape variety is unique to South Africa? Okay, and something you probably didn't know about me, or what that I'll share with you, is obvious that I love food, but I will walk 100 miles for a damn good ice cream. And I say that a couple of years back in Bra, in northern Italy, at the Slow Food Cheese Festival, I think in that small town there were about 12 gelato stores, and I'd make it my business to have at least 3 gelatos every day. And if I lick my lips, I can taste them.
What was your
All
favorite
over again.
flavor?
Absolutely delicious. Funnily enough, it was a melon. I think it was like a Spansbeck melon. Just delicious. And then if you're thinking, what is the difference between gelato and ice cream? It made me think too. And actually, gelato is churned far less than normal ice cream. And so you get a much more intense flavor. And if you think of it, gelato it's much sort of thicker than ice cream, which has much more air bubbles in it. And beware, a lot of our ice cream contains no dairy whatsoever, available locally on the market.
What are they making it with?
Vegetable fat.
Oh, I didn't want
But
to
there
know.
are lots of stores that are popping up in South Africa. So don't feel so worried. You make real good ice cream.
So let me just put back whilst we're giving people a chance to answer those questions. This is one of the funniest names, Hills. They're called It Will Be Over by Christmas.
No, please no.
2 out of 5 for motoring. Somebody had a husband who's a motoring journalist. We feel they might have an unfair advantage. The Lunatic Fringe got 3 out of 5. The Badgers did very well. They are true petrol heads. They got 5 out of 5. I forgot my team name. Got 1 out of 5. Team Sophie, not a petrol head. She got 0. And the high levels also, they are not petrol heads. So,
oh, come on, Thomas, much easier for next week.
Stranded surfers, sadly, got 2 out of 5 in the motoring section. Right. Please give us the answers. Hill.
Okay. All right. To the food, do I just give the answers or repeat the questions?
Repeat
No.
the questions and give
Okay.
the answers.
All right. The name of the dish enjoyed in northern Italy, which is a South African staple. Yay! It's polenta in Italy and mealie in South Africa. The difference is in Italy, they use yellow corn, and in South Africans favor white maize meal.
Ah.
Okay. Next one, which South African cookbook broke the record of the largest sales in the shortest space of time? And the person who spearheaded the collaboration? Well, that was the Real Meal Revolution, where we all went banting berserk. And it was Professor Tim Noakes who came to the fore, who bounced from saying we had to carbo load to saying we had to drop carbs. Okay, number 3, bechamel sauce takes its base from an everyday sauce. That's a really easy one. That's a white sauce. Bechamel sauce takes the milk for a white sauce and flavors it with all lovely vegetables like carrots, celery, onions, bit of garlic, strains it off before you make the sauce with that flavored milk. And number 4, who is rated as one of the UK's most popular chefs, as gauged by the sale of their cookbooks? None other than one of my favorites, Jamie Oliver, who's followed closely by, I've forgotten her name for a minute. Anyway, Nigella, I don't know why I went blank there. Nigella, Gordon Ramsay.
Definitely Nigella.
Nigella, Gordon Ramsay, and then surprisingly enough, Mary Berry, who's over 80 and is living the best life in her second coming, I would say. Wow. Okay, and number 5, another easy one. What grape variety is unique to South Africa? Well, of course, it's pinotage. That's what it is, pinotage. And I could have lots of that right now. But thanks, Aspasia.
Hilary?
I'm too embarrassed to tell you. because it's the last bottle of a
Not
sort
the
of
last drink.
sparkling sort of perle wine,
Oh,
which is quite sweet and awful, but at least it's some wine. But thank you so much.
people give anything at this stage.
Cheers.
Yes. So chaps, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Smarticus. Not so Smarticus for motoring. Got 0 out of 5. No answers whatsoever. Lane attack. Stayed in their lane with 1 out of 5. Boaty McBoatface, 1 out of 5. Kazalinde, spectacular, no points whatsoever. And the 3 generations put their minds together and got 4 out of 5. Chaps, we're moving on to music. We've been teasing Yolisa all week. We have concluded that he's probably just a secret fan of Barry Manilow. We burst into a group Barry Manilow sing-song just before we started this quiz. And so, Yolisa, Mkele, I welcome you on to give us your music knowledge.
Thanks. Hi, guys. At this point, I think I'm going to know the entire lyrics of Copacabana, which is apparently a Barry Manilow song. I didn't know that.
Didn't know that, chaps.
Actually, I wanted to say to Jen, for World Book Day, because my daughter did it today, she dressed as Jesus because she has a very bizarre sense of humor.
So a lot of sandals, I presume. And
sandals, she had sandals, a bottle of wine, and a loaf of bread.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the music stuff. We'll try and make this easier because apparently my questions were difficult last week. Though everyone I asked who was under the age of 20 found it ridiculously simple.
I mean, people need to work in teams here. Teams.
Exactly. But so first question is, which solo artist has the best-selling album of all time? And you should all know this, but we'll repeat that. Which solo artist has the best-selling album of all time? All of our parents danced to it at some kind of party, and you know when you were like children and your parents would drag you to a party and you really wanted to go home, and then that song would come on and they'd be like, oh my gosh, we have to stay for 10 more minutes. And then you never go home. So that's question 1. Question 2, what was Jay-Z's last album called? I can't remember exactly when it came out, but it came out recently, like 2 or 3 years ago. But what was Jay-Z's last album called?
This is Big Apologia to Beyonce.
Yes, that was when he went on the big apology tour and he was like, I'm so sorry, babe, I didn't mean. Yes, that is exactly the one you're thinking about. Question 3. Which rapper with rainbow-colored hair was recently released from prison because of COVID-19? Yes, it happened. It was, I can tell the story, but maybe not. But which rapper was with rainbow-colored hair was recently released from prison because of COVID-19? He would have come out later in the year, but then they were like, listen, you know when you have good lawyers. So question 4. Who made the 2017 hit Bodak Yellow? I'll give you a very great hint. She always goes, oh, there you go. To repeat that, who made the 2017 hit Bodak Yellow? And then question 5. What was 50 Cent's rap trio called? It's a very quick and simple name, but what was 50 Cent's rap trio called? So that was, and fun facts now. While everyone, this is the moment, you know, in those like Jeopardy shows in America, this is the point where it goes, ding, 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 ding. But yes, a fun fact about me is on a recent holiday, I was the referee for a boxing match between two small people. Yes, that is my fun
That's
fact.
a fun fact. I mean, seriously. This is
Yes.
you ref a boxing match between two small people. Were
Yes,
they
it
of
was.
short stature or were they young in age?
No, they were small of stature. They were little people.
Little
The whole bar, restaurant / boxing arena was themed around that, and you could pay to. I was in the Philippines.
Oh my God. Okay, well, that is a fun fact. It's a bit scary, but let me just report back on how people have been doing. The Ace of Space got 3 for food and immediately took to the vino. She still has wine, or he still has wine, and so felt that they needed a glass of wine after the Hilary section. Team Green
Thanks,
got
Hilary.
4 out of 5. There you go, cheers. Team Lulama is actually really doing brilliantly tonight. They are on fire, and 4 out of 5 for this section, and I think they got 5 out of 5 for the last section, if I'm not wrong and mistaken. The Chronicles of Narnia came back powerfully in the motoring section with 5 out of 5. The foodies of Team X got 1. The shame of it all. The Baker Man couldn't wait for Hilary. I don't know what his results were. I mean, there's been a rush on, what do they call that thing that they use to rise the bread?
Flour.
Yeast and flour. You can't get that like single grain flour anywhere for love or money. Things are crazy out there with the baking. The Hannah Put says, Anna Stroud, she was wondering if Hannah Put was in fact the single, the wine varietal.
The wine, yes. Now, I knew it was Pinotage, but
people can't wait anymore to answer these rap questions. Hip hop lives.
All right. Well, then let's get into it. So, answer for question number 1: which solo artist had the best-selling album of all time? Michael Jackson, Thriller. Yes. I think if I'm correct, it sold something like 48, 49 million records at the time. Like, it was huge. And so when you were at the party with your parents and Thriller came on, they all wanted to do the zombie thing. Question 2: what was Jay-Z's last album called? It was called 444. And yes, somehow he used the whole thing to apologize to his wife for cheating on her.
Spicy.
I mean, it's a good way to apologize, if we're honest.
And make some money off it whilst you're at it.
Yeah. Question 3: which rapper with rainbow-colored hair was recently released from prison because of COVID-19? The answer is Tekashi 6ix9ine. If any of you know the backstory, he went to jail because he was involved in like gangs and stuff, and then he told on all his friends.
Are these like triads or what kinds of gangs is Tekashi?
It was like New York Bloods and Crips, and like
okay.
Yeah, and he was somehow involved in them, but not really, but still involved. So he knew enough about them. So as soon as he was arrested, he was like, I'm telling on you and you and you and you.
Beautiful.
And so
he's still alive.
He is still alive. He's on house arrest.
Isolation is his friend.
Yes, he is on house arrest. He's going to be isolated for longer than we are. Question 4. Who made the 2017 hit Bodak Yellow? Answer is Cardi B. And hence the okr. I'm sure we've all seen her do that. It's a lot of fun to do. And finally, question 5. What was 50 Cent's rap trio called? It was called G-Unit. I don't know if anyone else here was young enough to be like young at the time, but they made us all basically wear like do-rags and pretend that we were these big suburban gangsters. And yeah, that's what I got. Back to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, we've got Team X were feeling very strong during your round. They actually made the noises, the same noises that Yolisa was making. There's on this chat, there was we're shining. I think I'm also making the noise. Brenda Dunn said, "Escaped." The 90s rock knowledge of the Quarantinis was not working for them. And Team Bravo got 5 out of 5. So the music section has been a mixed bag, as I can see from here. Team Breva got 5. Brilliant. Well done, guys. And then Gang said that this section exposed his age group, sadly. Lol. Okay, chaps, we're rapidly moving on to fashion and to our fashion director, Sharon Becker. Sharon, we're waiting for you, lovely lady. Hit us with some fashion questions.
Hi, Aspasia. Hi, everyone. Okay, I believe you did well on the last fashion section, so hopefully you guys will do well on this one as well. So fashion question number 1. Which creative director recently stepped down from a major French fashion house? So I'll repeat the question. Which creative director just stepped down from a major French fashion house? Fashion question number 2.
Sharon, can you speak a bit more loudly?
Yeah. What was the theme of the obviously now cancelled 2020 Met Gala? I'll repeat the question. What was the theme of the recent cancelled 2020 Met Gala?
The Met Gala is the one that takes place at the Metropolitan Museum every year, hosted by Anna Wintour.
Yes, so.
Okay.
Fashion question number 3. Which major World Fashion Week was commenced digitally, showing both men's and women's collections, as well as podcasts, interviews, and designer showrooms from the 12th of June? And again,
speak more loudly.
This major World Fashion Week will commence digitally on the 12th of June. Fashion question number 4. Which Hispanic singer-songwriter and former Disney star is launching her own makeup range with Rare Beauty, boasting 48 foundation shades? And that question again, which Hispanic singer-songwriter and former Disney star is launching her own makeup range? Fashion question number 5. Which French designer's Spring 2020 couture show marked the end of his 50-year career in fashion? Now repeat the question. Which French designer's 2020 couture show marked the end of his 50-year career in fashion? And then guys, a fun fact, I have been in pajamas, but I got dressed up tonight because I should be at Fashion Week, at SA Fashion Week. So all of the
I wore some Marianne tonight.
We've all been dressing up to show support and a bit of love to the fashion industry at large.
I'm just reporting back whilst we give people a chance to answer the questions. The Moonshiners' music was not so hot. I fear they're better at making gin in their bathtub. They got 1 out of 5. Team Breva got 5. Fabrizio, just the one. How's it, Oaks? Got 5 out of 5 for music. Sarah Batendach, clapping it, 5 out of 5 for music. And the Gerbers, also 5 out of 5. The Sidiots, the Sidiots got 4 out of 5. That's a great name. Wacky Wardy Okurb, whatever. Okay. I feel they're stretching my ability. The Faulty Towers got 3 out of 5. The Lunatic Fringe, 2. Okay, give us the answers, Sharon, by repeating the questions first, loudly.
So, which creative director just stepped down from a major French fashion house? The answer is Claire Wright Keller at Givenchy. Question number 2. What was the theme of the Met Gala 2020? It was fashion and duration, which was inspired by the writings of Virginia Woolf and French philosopher Henri Bergson. Question number 3. Which major World Fashion Week will commence on the 12th of June for the first time digitally? And it's London Fashion Week. Question number 4. Which Hispanic singer, songwriter, and Disney star has recently launched her own makeup range? And it is Selena Gomez. And which French designer's 2020 couture show marked the end of his 50-year career in fashion? Jean-Paul Gaultier. Thank you. Over to you, Aspasia.
Thanks, Sharon. People were worried that they couldn't hear you. So thankfully, the answers and the questions were on the chat room. I'm just trying to see what's happening here with the teams. Advice Chuma said they got 7 out of 10. So that's pretty impressive. 7 out of 5. I don't know how that works. Let me just try and get things to move along here. Sorry, guys. We are going to move on to the next section, which is sport, for people who perhaps, we're trying to keep it all even and equal on an even keel. There we go. My chat room is moving again. Sizzling hot Leslie Smith got no points for fashion. I'm going to now move over to BBK, the delightful, the marvelous, and the most impressive style manga of the evening, BBK. He's got his cap on, but he left his gown at home. He is at home, but he does not have his gown. Where are you, BBK?
I'm at home, Aspasia. I'm actually sitting on the dining table, sitting by myself here. I've got my French touch, French connection. I'm bringing out my Eric Cantona, as you can tell. And we have this 9-month-old person who runs this house, who's just decided to wake up right now, and she's exercising her lungs because she wants to be in Daddy's arms. But Mommy has gladly taken her to the bedroom, so we'll be able to conduct this.
I feel she must make a guest appearance before the end.
Before the end, most definitely we will bring her on. It's fine. Good evening to everybody. They always say second time around is nice. First round was beautiful. Let's try and make round number 2 even more great. My name is BBK, and I am employed as the sports editor at the Sunday Times. Well, Aspasia, last night, President Cyril Ramaphosa made a lot of smokers very happy. And we were left sad, those of us who play with balls of all shapes and sizes, because sport still has, to not resume. And we quite understand. Life comes first, and as South Africa, as Team South Africa, from everyone involved, it is in our interest to make sure that we do all in our power to deal with this terrible virus, COVID-19. But to get going with our sports section of the Lifestyle Sunday Times Lifestyle Quiz, for tonight, we will go on with our first question, and we will start between the 4 white lines of the soccer field. And question number 1, back in year 2000, there was the Africa Cup of Nations where Bafana Bafana lost 2-0 to Nigeria, and that was in the semifinals. And I would like our lovely quiz participants to tell us, when did Bafana concede the first goal in that match, and who scored the goal, if they care to mention the scorer as well. I will repeat that question. At the 2000 Africa Cup of Nations, Bafana Bafana lost 2-0 to Nigeria in the semifinals. I'd like to know, when did they concede the first goal and who was the goal scorer? Moving to question number 2, the Olympic Games were held in Barcelona in 1992. I'm sure you will remember the late Luciano Pavarotti with the theme song that went like Barcelona. That's not the question. The question is, how many gold medals did Team South Africa win at the Barcelona Olympics in 1992? I will repeat that question. Back in 1992, the Olympic Games were held in Barcelona, and I'm interested in finding out from you, how many gold medals did Team South Africa win? Moving right along, we will now dive into the pool, the swimming pool that is, and we will look at somebody who is a heroine of this sport, and she's a retired South African swimmer. Her name is Penny Haynes, and all I need for you to do is to tell me what it is that makes her hold a special place in the world of swimming. Question number 3, I would like our quiz participants to inform us, as far as they know, what it is that makes the retired South African swimmer Penny Haynes to hold a very special place in the world of swimming. And we will now move track to the golf course, and we will start on the fairways, where I would like you to tell me the name of the South African golfer who was the last to win the Masters, right? The Masters in Augusta, where people win and they get the green jacket. All I'm asking you to do is to let me know which South African golfer was the last to win the Masters. And going through to our final question, and it will be seconds out, coming from the boxing ring. And Brian Mitchell, remember, one of the best boxers to emerge from South African soil. He defended his World Boxing Association junior lightweight title a record 12 times. It was a massive record, considering that he did all of it away from home, on the road. But another boxer who also comes from South Africa went one better than Mitchell and defended his title 13 times. I would like you to give me the name, as I repeat the question, of the South African boxer who went one further than Brian Mitchell, who defended his title 12 times, who is the boxer who eclipsed Brian Mitchell and went on to defend his title 13 times. And apparently there has to be a fun fact about myself. I'm not sure.
Other than your penchant for hats.
I think everybody knows that I pretty much feel very naked without a head on my head, but there is no bald spot on my head. But maybe what is a fun fact is that I am the butt of all jokes amongst all my friends, simply because a certain team that I support has gone 30 years without winning a league title. Yes, they've won the Champions League. Yes, they've won the World Club Championship. Yes, they've won the European Super Cup. But having waited for 30 years, you're thinking that This is Liverpool's year, as every supporter says at the beginning of each season. Guess what? They're running away with it, and COVID-19 says you have to wait even more longer before you can lay your hand on that one.
I mean, I know this isn't a quiz question, but you're presenting it like one. But this is tragic news for them, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's been 30 years, but guess what? There are teams that have won a lot of English Premier League titles, but they still are babies when it comes to the European Champions League, the big years. So they know themselves. But yeah, it's going to come to us eventually. It's going to come.
So I'm just reporting back on some people's results, team results. Team MGC totally rocked the fashion questions. They got 5. Jaded got 1. She was very jaded. The Lunatic Fringe also won. Oops, they say. The Angus is Brenda Dunn, 2 out of 5 for fashion. And Ken Naidu, not either. Oh, so Blondie is a fashionista and got 2. And the Awesome Twosome are just representing themselves. I think they might have got 2. I don't know. And the Box of Frogs, 1. Sport, they were very excited. So give them the answers, BBK.
Okay, the answers for the sports section for tonight's quiz are as follows. Question 1. When did Bafana concede the first goal in their 2-0 defeat against Nigeria in the semi-finals? It was not in the 5th minute. The Super Eagles definitely did not score 7 seconds into the start of the match, but it was inside the first minute. 40 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, and that goal was scored by Tijani Babangida. Those who have long memories, elephant memories, will recall that Thabo Mngomeni lost the ball on the edge of the center, and Tijani Babangida just took it and went straight into a forward foray against Mark Fish, who kept on retreating, and Babangida banged past Andre Arense for the opener, and he went on to complete his brace in the 34th minute, and Bafana never recovered from that. The second question was, how many gold medals did Team South Africa win at the Barcelona Olympics back in 1991 and 1992 rather? It was not 1, neither was it 2 or 50. Basically, we came back from Barcelona with 0 medals in terms of gold. We had nothing. But we did get 2 silver medals. And those medals were won by Elana Meyer, who got 1 in athletics, as well as Wayne Ferreira and the Pete Noval. Remember them? They collected a silver medal in the men's double for tennis. So South Africa won no gold medals, 0 gold medals at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. And the answer to question number 3, retired South African swimmer Penny Haynes holds a special place in the world of swimming simply because she is the only woman in the history of the Olympic Games to have won both the 100 meters as well as the 200-meter breaststroke events. This was a feat she remarkably achieved at the 1996 Atlanta Games, and that, of course, made her South Africa's first post-apartheid Olympic gold medalist, and that was after readmission back into the International Olympic fold, rather, in 1992. So Penny Haynes holds the record as the only woman in the history of the Olympic Games to win both the 100 and the 200-meter breaststrokes. Number 4, on the golf course in Augusta, it was Charles Schwartzel who became the last South African to win the Masters, doing so in 2011 and making sure that Jason Day, who is from Australia, settled for the runners-up spot. So Charles Schwartzel was the guy in 2011 who was the last South African to wear the green blazer by winning the Masters in Augusta. And finally, The answer for question number 5, it was a boxing question as to who went one further than Brian Mitchell in terms of defending their boxing title. Remember, Mitchell defended his World Boxing Association junior lightweight 12 times. And the man who did one better than him was the man we call the Beast, Vuyani Pungu. And he went on to do 13 defenses of his International Boxing Federation junior featherweight title. I hope you were able to get yourself 5 out of 5. I think this was very much easy. And I think the former editor of the Sunday Times, Bongani Skogo, may have gotten the boxing one correct. And he got nothing on the other 4. And with that, I shall throw it back to you, Aspasia.
Thank you, BBK. Can I just pass on the Goodwill in Kuna's message? He says, you never walk alone, BBK.
Never, ever. Never, ever.
Somebody
Thank
else,
you.
Nev Pre69, unfortunately is a Man U fan, but we're going to ignore them.
They can log off right away.
Okay, I'm now going to hand over to the lovely Sue de Groot. Please don't forget to bring your baby back. We want to see her. Sue de Groot, wordsmith.
Hi.
Tongue twister of note. Are you here to stretch our minds?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back. Nice to not see you all again, but I believe you can see us. So tonight's word section has a theme. The theme is an ancient substance that some of us might still remember with nostalgic fondness. I'll leave it to you to see if you can pick up what links my 5 questions tonight. So we're talking about words. The first question is, in South Africa, which word starting with a Z is a nickname for Carling Black Label beer? I'll repeat that. Which word starting with a Z is a widespread nickname for Carling Black Label beer? While you're thinking about that, I have a prop for the next one. So this is a box that used to contain Johnny Walker Red Label beer. It's empty now. By the way, these are not my teeth marks. I think my cats might have been trying to tell me something.
This is getting desperate.
This Johnny Walker makes various types whiskey of various qualities and various prices. They are ranked according to the color of their label. So my question is, which color label is a Johnny Walker whiskey that has become a symbol of success and is also allegedly the color of royal blood? I'll repeat that. Which color label of Johnny Walker whiskey has become synonymous in South Africa, particularly has become a symbol of success and is also allegedly the color of royal blood? Right, question number 3. From which language do we get the word shebeen? This is not a trick question, but I'll be impressed if you know it. From which language do we get the word shebeen? Right, question 4. A whiskey that was once popular in South Africa, it's since been discontinued, but used to be a common whiskey. It used to have a small toy animal hanging on a string around the neck of the bottle. Question is, what was the name of the whiskey? I'll repeat that. A whiskey once popular in South Africa used to have a small toy animal hanging on a string around the neck of the bottle. What was the name of the whiskey? Right, question number 5. An element on the periodic table of elements has the same name as Joburg's oldest bar. What is that element? I'll give you well, you can't really see my shirt, but my shirt has the periodic table on it. The element is down here somewhere. I wear this shirt periodically. So the question again is, an element on the periodic table has the same name as Johannesburg's oldest bar. What is that?
I see where you're going with this theme now.
Isn't that obvious?
You know?
So while you're thinking about
now that the cigarette smokers have been appeased.
While you're thinking about the answers, I'll tell you a fun fact, or more of a confession, really. These are two of, it's actually a clue. These are two of the little animal toys that used to hang around the bottle of the whiskey that I was talking about. I used to, as a child, force my father to drink whiskey. I have a feeling he probably didn't like it very much, but I'd make him buy I nearly gave you the answer. Make him buy this type of whiskey so I could get the little toys. I found these in a box the other day. I used to have lots, but only two seem to have survived. Anyway, let's do the answers.
Sue, just 1 second. Let me give people some information about what's been happening with the sports. The Jacksonville Jaguars were a complete 0, I fear, as was the Fam Fun. The Killers got 1, so they weren't killing it in the sports section. Team Breva 2, Lujo Dash 1. The A team got 3 out of 5. These sports questions obviously got people. The Fab 5 finally got 5. Whoop, whoop. Well done, guys. Right. So, back to the answers.
Okay. Let's see how you've done in the mysteriously themed section about words. So, the first question: in South Africa, which word starting with a Z is the nickname of Black Label beer? That, I hope you all know, is Zamalek. Zamalek. The second question: the label of Johnny Walker Blue, the label of Johnny Walker, which is synonymous with success and is supposed to be the color of royal blood, is blue. They also have got that. The third one was maybe more difficult. The word shebeen comes from the Irish language. If you said Gaelic, you get that pretty much right, although Irish is a derivative of Gaelic, so that's kind of not entirely right. But the Irish word shebeen came to South Africa in the 1880s when Irish fortune hunters came to Joburg to look for gold. And they also obviously opened shebeens, which is the Irish word for a bar or a pub, where those who didn't find any gold could go and drown their sorrows. So you could say struck gold in one sense.
Fascinating.
The question, question 4. So the whiskey once popular in South Africa, you probably got it after I gave you a clue, that used to have this little animal hanging around its neck, was White Horse whiskey. It went out of fashion. I'm not sure why, but White Horse whiskey. If you said Eric, you do get a point because that apparently was the name of the horse. And question 5, the element on the periodic table, down here somewhere, that is the same name as Joburg's oldest bar, is radium. The Guildhall used to be Joburg's oldest bar, but that closed. The Radium Beer Hall, we hope will open again after lockdown. Radium is an element discovered by scientist Marie Curie, and it's used, among other things, in the making of X-ray machines. And the Radium Beer Hall, for one more bit of trivia, has a cat. I hope they still have the cat, called Doris, who has her own bar stool. So that's us for this evening. If you enjoy the words, please read the words column every day on timesselect.co.za. And thank you for joining us tonight. Cheers.
Thank you. Sue, you'll really enjoy this team name, the Chrysanthemums, who got 1 out of 5 for the sports section. And right, we are now heading over to Elizabeth Sleith, who is going to give us the travel questions. Sadly, we can still not travel between provinces, overseas. I think some of our expats are coming home, and that is great. So, Elizabeth, you are our final port of call, so to speak. Where is Elizabeth?
I'm here.
Yay.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Aspasia, we're bringing up the rear with travel. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be true for the lightening of the lockdown too. But I think we were excited to hear that we're going to be allowed to exercise. So I think we'll just look at that as like very, very local travel for now. So I think that this might be an opportunity for those of you who've joined us who struggled with the motoring and the rep and all that kind of stuff to redeem yourselves. I think I've gone a bit easy on you, and quite a lot of these are very sort of general knowledge questions. So let's start with travel question number 1. It is, what country is also known as the land of the long white cloud? So travel question number 1, I'll say it again. What country is also known as the land of the long white cloud? Travel question number 2 is, what is the only country in the world with 3 capital cities? Travel question number 2, what is the only country in the world with 3 capital cities? And then travel question number 3 is, where is the world's biggest shopping mall based on total area? Do you know, Aspasia?
I have my suspicions.
Question number 3 again for travel. Where is the world's biggest shopping mall based on total area? Question number 4 is a bit of a word game too. This country is a 4-letter word ending with a Q. Name the country. This country, question number 4 again. This country is a 4-letter word ending with a Q. Name the country. And then question number 5 is, what is the name of the French town in which Vincent van Gogh mutilated his own ear? Question number 5 again. What is the name of the French town in which Vincent van Gogh mutilated his own ear? Okay,
Give
so
us a fun fact, Elizabeth.
yeah, I mean, this is a hard thing to do. I've sort of contemplated it all day, and I think what I'm going to go with is also a little bit inspired by what we're doing in lockdown. I love a cheesy sing-along. And I have a 9-year-old son, so it's a struggle to kind of find family-friendly viewing. So we're doing lots of musicals and singing them. And I think we have
you
some...
made any TikTok videos yet?
We haven't. We're not really big on social media. We kind of like to sing in the lounge. And we have discovered Glee, which is a 10-year-old TV show that we are now binge watching, and it's really fun. And I think we're going to throw a karaoke as soon as we're allowed to get together.
That is excellent news. Okay, let me just give some more sporting results. Team unlocked cortexes, skimmed the goals with 0, they say. La Duma. And the Karen team got 1.5 points. I don't know how they reckon that. That's interesting. The Fantastics, not a sporting bunch. They got nothing. And the Bakerman, 1 out of 5 is a Bakerman, not a sportsman. Elizabeth, hit us.
Don't feel bad, Becky. I think I got 0 out of 5 for the sports. Okay, so we'll go to the answers for travel. Hope you guys did well. Question number 1 was, what country is also known as the land of the long white cloud? And that was New Zealand. Question number 2, what is the only country in the world with 3 capital cities? I hope you know the answer, because presumably most of you live in it. It is South Africa. Where is the world's biggest shopping mall? Question number 3 was Dubai. It's the Mall of Dubai. Question number 4, this country is a 4-letter word ending with a Q. It was Iraq. And then question number 5, what is the name of the French town in which Vincent van Gogh mutilated his ear? It was Arles. It's called Arles, A-R-L-E-S. And that's it for travel. I suspect you probably did well on this one. Thanks, Aspasia.
Oh, brilliant, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Guys, we're coming to that part of the evening where we give the random winner the prize. They're off to Tinswalo at Boulders, and the person who won is Lungi Baloy. Well done, and just know, Lungi, that we will drop you a little line with all the information. So that's very exciting. Please take us with. We love those penguins. Also take the special soap. I assure you, if you're going to have a dip at Tinswallow, that's what you need. And to Team Fun words, just to reflect on the words, people got 5 out of 5. Team Fun. The Gerbers got 3 out of 5 for words. The non-essentials got 4 out of 5. 5 out of 5 by I, Becky, We Suffering. The Babblers with a total of 17. We're coming to the end now, guys. Thank you very much. I'm looking to see how people are doing in terms of travel. The Fab 5 got 5 out of 5. Yes, another full house, they say. And the Unlocked Cortexes, cheers to 4 out of 5. I'm sure people are getting ready for their drinking, if they haven't been drinking already. But the Pamela Squeezes slurp their way through, they say, with 3 out of 5. So guys, I think we are wrapping it up. I want to see if people are posting their totals. The travel people, the verses got 5 out of 5. People were doing quite well in travel. Travel was a good round for people, it seems. The Braai Boykies got 5. So they're ready to pack their passports and their bags and their braai tongs and take to the air, like the rest of us. The Chrysanthemums also 5. Team Brever 5 for travel. This was a very good section for people. The Lunatic Fringe 4. Fantastic. And have you guys posted your final results? Let's see. We got this Groodle Doodles got 16 out of 40. Team X, I think this was still your travel. I'm hoping this was still your travel section. You got 2. The quiz is out of 45 tonight, the stranded surfers. That's absolutely right. So the Fantastics got 19 out of 45. It will be over by Christmas. Got 26 out of 45. Brilliant. Let's see. 27. The Jacobs family did better. The total for the Bakers, 22. 49%, chaps. Yeah, I see that. Danny and the Daltons, 23. The Badgers, 35. The Chrysanthemums, 22. They say it was a big improvement for last week. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic. The Chronicles of Narnia have to do some more reading, yeah, guys. 14 out of 45. Lockdown Loco Lab Rats. Yes, we all feel like we're in an experiment. 21, very dodgy experiment. 21 out of 45. The Conquistadors, I think they are rocking it. They are taking the prizes and all the gold. 30 out of 45. David Steinberg says 17 out of 45, the horror. How's it, Oaks? 29 out of 45. Team Lulama got 35 out of 45. I think you may be getting the prize, although we already gave it away to Lungi Beloy. But you did really well. And guys, yes, let me not bore you now with these numbers. House of York, 31. Well done, B. Roberts and family. The Intelligent Inmates, 25. The Conquistadors, 30. The Awesome Twosome topped Lulama's team with 38 out of 50. Bravo. Bravo, guys. This is a very good showing. Not a clue. Came with N with 18. Witty and cool team name. I've been seeing you guys all along. 26 out of 45. And Steeman got 34 out of 45. Brilliant, brilliant, guys. I'm very impressed. I hope you'll join us for another one of these. I think we can safely say that it was a lot of fun. And I will see you soon. And tomorrow in print, guys, go out, get the lifestyle, get the Sunday Times. It's been a delightful evening. And thank you for distracting us and joining us. And thanks to the team. Cheers.